As a class, we discuss how the ruler's incapability to solve environmental and overpopulation problems contributed to the abandonment of the southern lowland Maya city-states.
So I was thinking to myself, well, what were they able to control that could have aided them in a way? And that's why I kind of started writing about politics. And it was, and Jared Diamond said it as well, and it was kind of just appalling to me, like, why weren't the kings and politicians and the people in the ruling classes, like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing right now? And it was nothing. They were fighting against each other, trying to gain power, and trying to gain wealth, and trying to, look out for themselves.
In 378 AD, the rivalry between Tikal and Nyaksakhtun intensified because both desired to be the first-ranked city-state. The kings of these city-states commenced a modern style of warfare: Star Wars.
Also, the people said in many years ago, they think the Mayas was really peace people. No worry, no problems. All the things in the Mayas was thinking in the gods, in the stars. But it is not true. Right now we know they have warriors, wars, Star Wars, they call it like that.
Instead of invading cities to capture captives to sacrifice to the gods, when a ruler now won against another kingdom, they would gain the kingdom of the loser. A new idea had emerged in the Maya culture: empire. While the kings expanded their cities, a new, ambitious group of elites appeared. Starting in the 8th century, major rulers shared their powers with subordinate lords.
You have a group of nobility who are sort of distancing themselves from the common people. You have new noble rich who want to be empowered who are fighting for the control of who is going to be the king.
At Copan, the foothill zone was not only being used for agricultural purposes and the upland forest zone for domestic purposes, but most of that zone was used to make plaster for the construction of monuments and palaces for the elites.
So we can see that that's stucco. That is just lime with white clay, ashes of trees, and water. But to get the lime, remember we have to cut the trees to use it as fuel to burn the limestone and get the white powder, the lime. So we can see that they had abundance of trees and natural resources.
One of the things you also notice in the architecture is that you stop making big buildings. You don't have the money to do that. And when we had this new design of new buildings, that means they were not worried about food,
right,
or attacks or anything like that, so they were doing really well.
Here we can see the evolution of the Mayan civilization. First it started with Yaxcucmo, who made very small monuments. Then we have here Rosalila, and then later we have 18th Rabbit, who made large erections of himself, stelae, that showed his headdresses, it showed his jade, it showed the power that he had. Then later, when the Maya were starting to collapse in Copan, we see Altar Q, which is just a tiny monument.
What collapsed really is the political system. The shamans, kings, priests were not able to bring rain anymore.
The people began to question their ruler. Where was the food? Was the ruler truly connected with the gods? Without a leader, who do we follow? In Copan, most inhabitants either died or split into smaller kin groups and dispersed by 1250 AD, leaving the Copan Valley completely abandoned and entirely forest.
Also realize that when you're making a monument, it's because you already have a house and you have food and you have extra money. The moment that you don't have enough food, why you want to make a stela? Why you make a beautiful stucco? Then you go down, so we have this absence of art. You don't want a fancy big house. Another characteristic I think is important is that Palenque was modifying 3 large structures. That means they were well off, they had a lot of food, and they had a really good future. So they are using all this labor and materials to to do Temple 20, Temple of the Cross, and Temple 11. And suddenly, the system falls, and they leave all these structures half constructed. So you can tell they were not coming back. They didn't cover the stones with the stucco. They just left.
Although archaeologists have found many reasons for the Maya collapse, much of the Maya collapse remains a mystery to this day.